And you're listening to Morning Report. Well, David Seymour's political benefactors, the National Party, once again delivered him and ACT their safe seat of Epsom on Saturday night, but forced to try for a deal with Mr Seymour's arch political opponent, Winston Peters. The National leader, Bill English, wasted no time in cutting ACT out of the picture.
We have to work with what the voters give us, and the shortest path to stable government is a two-party coalition between National and New Zealand First.
Well, let's talk to the ACT Party leader, David Seymour, in some detail about this now. He's in our Auckland studio. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Guy.
Firstly, your result on the night, you must have been disappointed with that. Just 10,000 votes, 0.5% of the party vote.
Oh, look, well, let me just start by saying that for a first-term MP to be re-elected with an increased majority is always a good thing, and I'm grateful to my neighbours in the Epsom electorate who, again, have responded to the message that giving your candidate vote to ACT is smart, it adds to the centre-right, and that in return you also get someone who is a diligent, hard-working local MP. So I'm very happy about that. And let's just remember that part. Now, in response to your question, obviously very disappointed in ACT's party vote, but, you know, we live again, which is more than can be said for, Kim.com, Colin Craig, Gareth Morgan, the Maori Party, United Future, all tried and failed.
Yeah, but with
ACT is now one of five parties in Parliament.
Yeah, but you say that you live again, but you're on life support for the National Party holding the switch.
No, that's not true at all, Guy.
It is, really. They've gifted you that seat and stood aside.
No, that's just not how it works. Here's how I'd put it, is that the ACT Party has a strategy. We have a deal with the people of the Epsom electorate that if you vote for ACT, you add seats to the centre-right and you get good local representation. Now, people like you, Guy, always try to put it in the most desultory possible light, and I think that's a shame. But actually, I think it's quite clever what ACT's done there. It's a win-win for the people of Epsom and ACT.
Well, so what do they
it's a win-win for the centre-right. Well, in the last
you just heard Bill English there cutting you out of any deal.
Well, that's because that's the way the numbers were in this election. But for the last 3 elections, Epsom voting for ACT and people up and down New Zealand giving their party vote to ACT has allowed us to have centre-right government without Winston Peters.
Yeah, but this is history now, though, isn't it?
Yep, so 3 out of 4 times it works, and it's going to work again. So I actually see quite a bright future. There's a lot of negativity here.
Yeah, but why would
that's Morning Report. I mean, I'm pretty happy about the next 3 years and the role that ACT's going to play in it.
It's our fault now, is it?
Well, I mean, let's be honest, Guy. I mean, we've got a taxpayer-funded public broadcaster.
You're going to go this way.
Yep.
Hey, you're taxpayer-funded too, mate.
Yep, but when was the last time that you gave me an opportunity to put ACT's proposition before the voters during the election?
Well, I would argue
because
that with one MP, you've had extraordinarily good
not in
coverage.
The 5 weeks leading up to the election. I actually got better coverage on Radio Hauraki and The Edge than I got from you, and I think that's part of what happened at this election. Is that we had a rush to larger parties. And I think that's a shame. I think it would have been nice to have had a response to the repeated pitches to your office to be able to actually come on here and explain our policies.
If you come on Morning Report more, you might have got more than 0.5%.
Oh, look, I think that's definitely true, and I think in the future it would be nice if our public broadcaster was prepared to give a range of different opinions rather than what we saw, which was largely an FPP election.
Why wouldn't you just fold the tent now? 10,000 votes.
Because we've got a tremendous opportunity. Remember, we're one of 5 parties left in Parliament. So that's, it's like the old Air New Zealand ad that being there is everything. The next thing I'd say is that whatever government forms with Winston Peters is going to be a disaster. How do we know that? Well, again, looking back at history, that's how it worked. The fact of the matter is that, every time he's been in government, he's been sacked as a minister, he's been voted out of 3 different electorates, and the ACT Party will be there, I suspect, looking pretty good in 3 years' time.
Do you think National's going to cut you a deal again if you're not able to offer them anything?
Well, look, the National Party, if they really wanted to, could try and run me out of the Epsom electorate, but 2 thoughts for you. First, it didn't work in 2005 when they tried it because actually Epsom people are pretty smart and they want centre-right government and they know how to use their votes. But the second thing is that they'd be mad to do it because the simple fact of the matter is ACT's got a strategy that works. We're very disappointed with the party result on the night, but nevertheless, we've got a big opportunity to build over the next 3 years, and I'm actually feeling pretty good. Just remember, being in government is actually a small part of the job I've done in the last 3 years. I'm very proud that we now have over 1,000 kids attending charter schools, and it's changing their lives for the better. That is a huge achievement for ACT in the last 3 years. But also, I've got the assisted dying or end-of-life choice bill. We put that moral issue on the agenda when nobody else in Parliament was prepared to. We still lead a party, still serve the people of Epsom. So I think we've got a pretty bright future, and maybe we'll even see some of that positivity and optimism on your morning report one day.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Do appreciate it. That is the ACT Party leader and Epsom MP David Seymour at 6.